Ariana Grande and Cynthia Erivo have got people talking once more, and just like before, the conversation has nothing to do with the movie Wicked. Fans and the general public have noticed the intense dynamic between the two throughout their press tour for Wicked. From emotional interviews where both stars break down in tears, to noticeable changes in their appearance, to Ariana's sudden shift into a more baby-like persona that matches Cynthia's calm, protective persona, people are starting to wonder what's really going on. There is also a viral claim online that said that Cynthia clarified that her and Ariana are in a non-demi-curious, semi-binary relationship.
What?
Is it just the pressure of a massive blockbuster musical, a deep creative bond, or something more complicated? Let's break down what fans are noticing, what's fueling the concern, and what might actually be behind these viral moments. Hey everyone, and welcome back to Scandalous Media. It's Alana here, and today we're talking about Ariana Grande and Cynthia Erivo's intense dynamic that has everyone online talking. From Ariana acting like a small child, to Cynthia role-playing as Ariana's bodyguard, things are getting weird again. In the past, we've made a video dissecting the weird relationship between Cynthia and Ariana during their first Wicked press tour, so if you haven't watched that yet, make sure to check that out, and while doing so, let's hold space for this video, which is a continuation of the first. There is now more of a concern for the appearance of the Wicked cast, more of Ariana and Cynthia crying, a lot of random stares and touching, and a viral claim that these two are in some sort of relationship. Before we get started, make sure to give this video a like and subscribe for more, tell us your thoughts down below, check us out on Apple and Spotify podcasts, give your girls a 5-star rating, and without further ado, let's get started. Non-demi-curious, semi-binary relationship. Cynthia and Ariana's behavior has sparked viral claims and rumors that these two are in a relationship. Top Voice on Instagram, an account with 6 million followers, says that Cynthia and Ariana are finally clearing the air, with Cynthia clarifying that they are in a non-demi-curious, semi-binary relationship. In their caption, they claim that Cynthia said in a playful tone, "It means we're not actually a couple, but we're curious about what that could mean, and everything." This claim went viral online, with media outlets posting about it, and fans rushing to see if Ariana and Cynthia have actually confirmed anything about their relationship, or if they were just humoring themselves with this mouthful of a label. The rumor that Ariana and Cynthia are more than friends stems from their first Wicked press tour, where these two wouldn't stop holding hands and getting vulnerable in interviews. When questioned about their physical closeness, Ariana told Amy Poehler's Good Hang podcast, "I channel a lot of energy through my hands, and so I'm always holding a hand. I'm always squeezing something, as you've learned. I'm always reaching for something sometimes." So is it true that Ariana and Cynthia are in a non-demi-curious semi-binary relationship? No. The label itself isn't even a real label, and it was made as an online joke to troll Ariana and Cynthia. The satire label in itself isn't real, but rather a combination of legitimate concepts like non-binary identity, demigender, and so on. But no, there has been no confirmation between Ariana and Cynthia, and this is just a viral joke. Ariana's babified persona and Cynthia's role as her bodyguard. Ariana has long been known for curating a signature aesthetic that evolves with each chapter of her career while still feeling distinctively Ariana. From the high ponytail and oversized sweatshirts of her early pop era, to the sleek mod-inspired looks from Positions, she constantly commits to a cohesive vibe that shapes both her music and visual identity. Along the way, she has helped popularize trends from thigh-high boots to vintage 60s glam, using fashion, beauty, and imagery to define the mood for each era and leave a lasting cultural imprint. With that being said, Ariana has always played into a babified / small version of herself, more so now than in the past. Ariana was known for the Ariana sleeves, which were the long sleeves from her sweaters that extended past her wrists in a "I'm so little, everything's oversized on me" way. Ariana did the sleeves over hands look so often that it became a meme, inspiring people online to exaggerate the style by extending their sleeves to an absurd length, making daily tasks as inconvenient as possible to keep the vibe of their outfit oversized and small. People magazine used the trolling video that went viral during COVID and captioned it, "Using this iconic video as a friendly reminder to wash your effing hands." To which Ariana responded back saying, "Hate you all." Back in 2019, when the meme first took off, she responded saying, "Man, if y'all don't leave me alone, this made me so anxious." Once the internet took notice of this behavior, it eventually caused Ariana to stop wearing sweaters in an oversized way. But that didn't stop Ariana from naturally liking the persona in general. Back then, Ariana would post photos and pose in a way that showcased she liked the idea of being petite and small. In 2016, Mac Miller shared a photo of Ariana doing her makeup sitting inside her sink. This is a cute photo, and there is nothing wrong with liking your body type, of which for Ariana is petite, but it feeds into the accusations that Ariana glorified a certain look on her social media back in the day. The reason why it's a bigger deal for Ariana and not other people is because Ariana is largely accused of spreading ED propaganda during her early days on Tumblr, which we will get into later on in this video. I do want to note that for me, the sink photo just shows that Ariana enjoys being whimsical and small being. Could it be linked to something more? Well, that's for later on in the video. In general though, Ariana does enjoy the small girl persona, and this reminds me of the time that she was seen walking out with Pete Davidson in that same oversized sweater and innocently looking at him while licking a lollipop. Let's also not forget that her entire character on the show Victorious went from a girl who was mostly normal and maybe a little silly to a completely undeveloped child whose voice became a babyish falsetto as the seasons went by.
You were so awesome in the big showcase.
Oh, thanks.
My name's Kat.
Oh, like the animal.
What's that supposed to mean? Gotta tighten your rhythm.
I need to get some air.
There's air in here.
I have a feeling that Ariana herself was the reason for the change, mashing in her identity with her character's identity, and those interesting producers on Nick went along with it, because what producers on Nickelodeon don't love when a 21-year-old acts like they're 4 years old? I also feel like when Ariana was a child on Victorious, that baby persona was always applauded and amplified, whether it was by fans or weird producers. And so I do think that in a way that personality is her comfort zone. Not sure what happened to Ariana during her time on Victorious, but what we do know is that when the Quiet on Set documentary was coming out, it was coming out around the same time that press for Wicked was about to start, so she briefly spoke about her time on Nickelodeon and how she was surprised and upset to find out that some of the outtakes for skits made their way online, showcasing them doing silly things that weren't supposed to be made public.
And then the things that weren't approved for the network were snuck onto like our website or whatever it was, and that is another discovery, but
Wow.
Going into it, I guess I'm upset.
In that same interview, Ariana said that the cast was sort of being manipulated into believing that some of the jokes and skits on Victorious was okay because they were pushing the envelope with their humor, so they were allowed to do so.
Specifically about our show, I think that was something that we were convinced was like the cool thing about us, is that like we pushed the envelope with our humor, and the innuendos were like, we were told and convinced as well that it was like the cool differentiation.
So come Wicked, her childhood dream, and all these things of her past are being brought up because of the documentary Quiet on Set, and it all makes sense that Ariana would take on the persona of a younger girl because she herself said she was reprocessing a lot of the things that happened to her when she was too young to understand what was going on. I think a lot of Ariana's identity issues and personality upgrades do come from a place of unprocessed trauma, and maybe it's that serious, maybe it's not, but one thing about Ariana is that she enjoys playing into that personality. I'm not sure if it's linked to working so hard as a teenager and realizing in your 20s that you missed out on your childhood, or if it's linked to Ariana hyperfixating on a personality and then moving past it. In the Psychology of Ariana Grande video that we did in the past, we did take a look at the possibility that Ariana's identity is always a mystery to her, and she goes in and out of these intense personality traits based on the season in her life and whoever she's surrounding herself with at that time. I would say Ariana goes back and forth on this small being energy because it's a trait she naturally has, which isn't an insult at all. I think it can be classified as whimsical and cute in a way, but I do believe that Wicked has intensified the traits of Ariana that were always there, and now instead of baddie small bean Ariana, we are getting Ariana post-lobotomy. You Know Nad on TikTok made a great point in saying that Wicked probably brings out a little bit of trauma for Ariana because it represents all that she's done and went through to get here. Wicked is Ariana's childhood dream role, and getting it was probably bittersweet because of the realization hit of what it took to get her to where she finally is.
So Ariana finally wraps the role of her lifetime, and she's immediately hit with the stark reminder of what she had to do as a little girl to position herself in this industry to even be considered for the artistic role that she had always dreamed of. So obviously those two things happening in March, this all coming back to the surface, it was horrible timing for her at the start of this press tour, and she seems to just have been getting worse and worse.
I mean, take a look at some of these recent examples from the Wicked press tour. It's truly giving Kat in season 3 of Victorious. First, we have the faces she's been making throughout the Wicked press tour for the past 2 years. Why is a 32-year-old woman trying to look like an 8-year-old with the huge doe eyes, innocent smile, and eyebrows that seem to be permanently morphed in a certain shape? Just look at the difference between Ariana a few years ago versus Ariana now. It doesn't feel authentic. At least back then when she was playing into that personality, you could still tell that she knew she was a grown adult. She was twerking on stage and throwing it back, and yet now if someone on the red carpet asks her to dance, she's freezing up and giving a small shimmy. What has brought up the babified persona even more is her voice change and expressions to things.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. Of course, like with the thank you next.
I think it will change a lot. I think the last,
Just look at the way she's running off here at the Golden Globes, sticking out her hand like she's on a playground. Or look at the way she's trying to run across the stage here to get to the center of it. Let's also talk about Cynthia's role as Ariana's bodyguard, which plays into Ariana's babified persona. One thing about Cynthia and Ariana is that these two are going to be crying together. Doesn't matter if it's press for Wicked 1 or Wicked 2, just know that there's going to be a lot of crying.
Which witch cried most on set? Ari? Ooh, no, ooh.
Wait, it depends. I mean, both.
Oh my gosh. It's been a pleasure spending time with you. It's been a pleasure getting to know you, and I hope you will be there for the rest of my life.
It's funny because there's so much crying going on that when you finally sit down to watch Wicked, you're just like, oh. On top of all the crying, Cynthia has gotten into protector mode for Ariana, making Ariana seem like a helpless porcelain doll. Cynthia's always there, awkwardly inserting herself in Ariana's business, whether that's to fix her necklace mid-sentence or to fix her hair in the middle of a red carpet appearance. Mind you, nothing is wrong with the necklace or the hair. Cynthia is so protective of Ariana that she's the first to jump in and save the day when Ariana was attacked by an unhinged fan. Paparazzi got this photo of Cynthia afterwards. It's nice to know that Cynthia was thinking quick on her feet and pushed the unhinged fan out of the way, but I'd like to think that all that worrying about Ariana will she or will she not open up a water bottle has given her enough practice to jump in and save the day. Ariana can't even hug a fan without Cynthia in the back assessing the situation. Here's Ariana acting out with her arm again, and right on cue there's Cynthia ready to reach out and caress something. I mean, it's gotten to the point where media outlets are reporting on the odd behavior between these two. I mean, what is going on here? Cynthia and Ariana have become memes both together and individually. Their friendship is sweet, but it seems to be over-exaggerated. Their behavior genuinely has people thinking someone died on set. A lot of fans think that these two are in love with each other, and I'm not sure if Ariana and Cynthia both enjoy playing into the rumors because it helps movie press or it's just entertaining for them to do so, but here they are being purposefully close on the red carpet. The final nail in the coffin is Ariana reaching out to whisper something in Cynthia's ear, and while doing so, of course, the photographers caught this angle. Do you guys think that they're doing all of this for show, or did filming Wicked really bring out a lost spark in them, and now whenever they talk about it, they can't help but cry? Do you think that Cynthia understands some of Ariana's repressed trauma and it's why she's so fast to be the protector, or are these two low-key dramatic theater kids who finally got their dream roles? The drastic change of appearance from the Wicked stars. Besides Ariana and Cynthia's interesting behavior during the press tour for Wicked, another popular debate online is whether or not we should be concerned about Ariana and Cynthia's changing appearance after filming the movie. It's one thing for Ariana to get comments about her weight and appearance because it's something she's always dealt with since the beginning of her career. People are either copying Ariana to an abnormal degree or criticizing her to an abnormal degree. Either way, it wasn't right because most people were more interested in a story rather than her actual health. But during the Wicked press tours, Ariana's change wasn't so low, and what brought more attention to it was Cynthia herself having slimmed down to an unrecognizable degree as well. A tweet that has been viewed over 20 million times with 19,000 likes reads, "Whoever is saying this is normal is a part of the problem," and it's a picture of Ariana at the latest Wicked premiere. Another viral tweet with over 26,000 likes reads, "We definitely need to talk about the stars of Wicked and their eating disorders because kids look up to Ponytail too much to ignore what's happening." Someone quotes that tweet and says, "For reference, with a collage of Cynthia, Ariana, and Michelle Yeoh all allegedly following the same diet." That tweet has almost 400,000 likes. Ariana has opened up about how the comments used to bother her and how they don't anymore because she realized people will always have something to say. This is what she said last year when promoting Wicked.
I have heard it all. I've heard every version of it, of what's wrong with me, and then you fix it, and then it's wrong for different reasons, but that's everything from, even just the simplest thing, your appearance, that you're young and you're hearing all kinds of things. It's hard to protect yourself from that noise.
Now that the appearance concern is the same during the second movie, she has reposted what she said from that last interview to remind people to stop talking about her body. In this clip, she is criticizing the comfortability of society, where we are all too comfortable making comments about anything and anyone.
And I think in today's society, there's a comfortability that we shouldn't have at all. Commenting on others' looks, appearance, what they think is going on behind the scenes, or health, or how they present themselves, you know.
And while she is very valid in the fact that people no longer have shame or class about the type of behavior they want to engage in, I feel like people who struggle with something like an ED or even a drug addiction are excellent deflectors. It's easy to get away with doing something if your response to the concern is, we are too comfortable discussing things that we have no knowledge about. It doesn't take a genius to notice someone is struggling, and sometimes people who are closest to you won't see you struggling, but someone watching from a distance can. So while I don't know the ins and outs of Ariana and Cynthia's day-to-day, it doesn't take much to notice that something is off about their appearance. Celebrities face constant scrutiny, and it's easy for them to respond with, "You don't know me," when people express concern. But at the same time, when certain patterns or facts line up, it's natural for the public to draw conclusions, even if we can't be 100% sure. It's like the old saying, if something looks like a dog and barks like a dog, it's probably a dog. We may not know the full story, but people tend to connect the dots based on what's visible. And as someone who has been writing about celebrities for over a decade, I can tell you that what's visible is usually the cherry on top to what's going on behind closed doors. This brings us to another discussion, and it's Ariana's old Tumblr account, and how fans have alleged that there was an ED community that she was a part of, and how allegedly she, along with others, used to promote ED ideas. Hot Girl History on TikTok made a video with over 1 million likes saying that she is tired of pretending that the impact of ED isn't on our minds and it's not as big as it truly is, and how back in the day on Tumblr, there were signs and codes for this community.
If you were a preteen or a teen in the 2011-2012 era of Felice Fawn, if you even know the name Felice Fawn, you are also an active witness to Ariana Grande and Bella Hadid's incredibly popular Tumblr blogs dedicated to tracking their weight loss and putting out SPO.
The creator was saying that Bella and Ariana were two people with influence on Tumblr that were a part of the Thin SPO inspiration and were in support groups about what to eat and how to calorie count.
There were communities of us built, kids, all using this. And I'm so sorry she knew. She knew that. My metabolism still destroyed from how there I was as a baby. And I know I wasn't alone. This was a cult. There were code names. There were secret hashtags. There were red string bracelets we would wear that also religions were so that it could be easily passed off. But they were signifiers and we knew that.
People who feel like they have to hide something will oftentimes get creative with how they have to hide it. Ariana used to wear a red string that was associated with symbolism for EDs, but is also a well-known religious bracelet. Because of that, if anyone looked it up, they'd likely find the religious meaning first, which may have helped keep the attention away from other interpretations people were speculating about. And in the past, Ariana and her team were quick to say, no, that bracelet is for religious purposes, and it's like, Ariana isn't even part of the religion that is practicing this evil eye bracelet thing.
I don't think that we'll ever get an admission from either of them that that's what those blogs were. But I know, and a lot of you know, essays about what to eat and how to eat, period, where Ari would post the dragon fruit that she ate that day, fridge of lettuce and a black coffee. When I'm hearing the discourse now, and I have for years, it's really, really hard to listen to well, she's just naturally thin. When I tell you the soul of a feral calorie counting 13-year-old re-enters my body, it's like, you have not seen what I've seen. This video came out and Bella Hadid was the first to publicly comment on it. It almost sent me into psychosis.
The creator makes a very important note saying that those who are with Ariana on Tumblr in those preteen days have to now see Ariana and feel this weird parasocial relationship with her and have to fight the urge to feel competitive in nature and inspired by how she looks, since it was once a struggle they identified with. Old habits die hard, and if someone was in this community with Ariana and remembers the feral calorie counting days at age 13, then seeing Ariana look the way she does now, it could be a trigger point even if you are in your late 20s/early 30s. It's why so many of them want to speak out and put an end to the shame of talking about this and pretending that people won't be influenced by a certain look.
But I want to give you a big hug. I want to give myself a big hug. I want to stop shaming myself for feeling so triggered by this person. And when I say triggered, I think it's really important that I'm honest in saying that this isn't like a trigger of a past thing. This is like, I feel competitive now. I feel jealous now. And I think I'm not alone in that feeling and in working really fucking hard to fight it.
Denying that there is a problem is part of the problem. And while we don't know everything going on behind closed doors in these celebrities' lives, it's not hard to see when there is a struggle, especially when it's a struggle as widely known as an ED. The reason why it's important to call out this behavior is because of what Hollywood loves to constantly sell us. Hollywood has seen a noticeable return to an ultra-thin body ideal, one that feels eerily reminiscent of early 2000s heroin chic, and the timing hasn't gone unnoticed. As Ozempic and similar GLP-1 medications enter the mainstream conversation for weight loss, speculation followed, and the new trend that we are not supposed to be affected by is the ultra-thin petite look. Where curves were once praised and surgically added, extreme thinness is now the ideal, celebrated, sanctioned, and often doctor prescribed. Not talking about it isn't being polite, it's pretending that the issue doesn't exist and watching younger generations fall into the pressure. And this isn't necessarily just an Ariana problem, however there does seem to be a heavy parasocial relationship with her and other girls who have identity issues. Still, it's an issue as a whole, which is why people don't like the "she's always been thin" excuse, because there's a difference between Ariana who first started versus Ariana now. The argument that she's always been thin doesn't help anything because fans are alleging that even before Ariana first released a real record, she was on these Tumblr accounts engaging in ED behavior. There seems to have been a pause in behavior with Ariana since she did eventually start rocking her curves and working with her body type in a way that's different from now. Ariana from 2009 had a similar body to Ariana from 2020. And Ariana from 2014, aka the Tumblr era, has a similar body to Ariana from 2025. It's not like her height changed or the fact that she's petite changed, but there is definitely a version of Ariana who seems to be at a healthier body weight than the current version now. Ariana in the past has discussed the theories that she was healthier in previous years versus now, but her excuse was that you don't know what she was going through because she was actually drinking a lot and taking a lot of pills to process some of the heaviest hits of her life.
The body that you've been comparing my current body to was the unhealthiest version of my body. I was on a lot of antidepressants and drinking on them and eating poorly, and at the lowest point of my life when I looked the way you consider my healthy.
Ariana has been through a lot, and she is truly one celebrity who I feel like has seen different types of pain and hurt. Because of that, I've always felt a deep sympathy for her, and an understanding that coping mechanisms, especially in moments of trauma, can be just as harmful as they are temporarily comforting. That being said, there is an uncomfortable complexity here. During periods where she was reportedly drinking heavy and relying on pills, she was at least eating. Being at a healthy weight while engaging in destructive habits is one thing. Being sober while being visibly underweight is another thing entirely. Earlier in this video, we talked about how Ariana said that in 2024, she was reprocessing a lot of the stuff that happened earlier in her career. She said this in regards to the Quiet on Set documentary coming out. I feel like Wicked is a painful reminder of her past traumas, and while getting ready for the role, she fell back into a traumatic state of realizing what it takes to get your dream role. At the same time, she's going through a divorce. There's a documentary exposing the network she was on and was possibly a victim of. She's still in an anxious and fearful state because of the horrible attack in Manchester, and she's lost loved ones. This is all happening back to back in a handful of years, mind you. So part of me feels like she and Cynthia keep crying because Wicked is subconsciously linked to a lot of her trigger points. Wicked feels like the light at the end of the tunnel, but you still have to get through the tunnel. And it could explain why we see the behavior that we see Ariana engaging in today. Well, I hope you guys have enjoyed this video. Let me know your thoughts down below. I really want to hear what you guys think about Ariana and the deep dive behind her behavior, and if you agree that Wicked is linked to other triggers in Ariana's life, which brings out the traumatized version of Ariana. Make sure to give this video a like and subscribe for more. Go check us out on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. Don't forget to give us a 5-star rating. And as always, I'll see you next time.